Thank you, Hui Hui. After that, we'll get Mr. Leong to speak, and I know there are some of you here who also want to speak. This is not our mic, by the way. This is a volunteer project for us. I'll just say a bit about the S&CC. What the PAP did was, in 2012, they said that seven town councils will increase the S&CC, and then they said in 2012 that only 7 town councils will increase and will phase it in 2 years. This year, they said another 8 town councils will increase, and also they said it will phase it into 2 years. But do you know that there are only 15 TAP town councils in Singapore? So after the general election in 2011, they had already wanted to increase the S&CC for all of us. But instead of putting it at one go, because they know Singaporeans will be angry, they pretended to break it into half. So 7 and then 8. And then not only that, not only did they break it into half, they also said that they will phase it into 2 years, so that it looks like it's very little. But the thing is, should we even be paying higher S&CC?
No!
If you look at how much surpluses TAP are earning, last year, they actually had $58 million in surplus. This means that we don't have to pay any higher S&CC at all. In 2012, they earned 40 million, at least 40 million. This means that their surplus increased from 40 million to 58 million from 2012 to 2013. But do you know what Sembawang Town Council said when they wanted us to increase the S&CC? They said that because of higher inflation and because they have reduced surpluses, they wanted us to increase the S&CC. But it is not reduced surpluses, they actually have higher surpluses. That means they are making us pay for more of their own money. Now, if you break it down into further detail, if you look at how much, so PAP said that the town councils, they have higher inflation, so they needed to pay more, right? But when you look at it, who is the one earning from the higher inflation? The town councils, one of the town councils is owned by the chairperson is the previous PAP MP. So is this another aim issue? Are they allowing another person to earn on behalf of them again? Are there interests in conflict? Now they want the Ministry of National Development to investigate the town councils, to also find out, should they change the funding structure of the town councils? Now, some of these people sitting on the board of this managing agent who's helping PAP manage the town councils, they were previously from the Ministry of National Development, from HDB. Yes, are there conflict of interest again? So first, they want us to increase inflation because they increase the cost for themselves, so we have to pay for it. After that, they are increasing surpluses. They want us to pay for it again. So why must they make us pay and pay over again? Now, I'll talk a bit about the budget. In budget 2014, the government wanted us to increase, they said that they wanted us to increase the Medisave contribution. But instead, they said, don't worry, we'll increase your Medisave contribution, but we'll also increase what we pay for you for medical healthcare needs. So for the pioneer generation and for the older generation, they increased the Medisave into your Medisave account. But do you know that whatever they give you is only about 400 million plus? But whatever they take back from us in Medisave contribution is actually 850 million. That means that they give us $1, but they take back $2 from us. Again,
what else is new?
What else is new?
It happens all the time.
It happens all the time. They take what they want from us, but they times 2 take it back from us. This is not the only thing. For transport increase, I've calculated that whatever we pay in fares and non-fare revenue to the SMRT and SBS is more than 110% more than what their operating expenses are. So again, Singaporeans are subsidizing everything for the government.
That's right, it's right.
This has been happening for the past 10 years. And then SMRT and SBS are profit-making companies. Why are we made to pay for their profits? What about Singaporeans' wages? The government is only concerned about these companies who are owned by the Temasek Holdings. They earn higher and higher profits while we earn lower and lower real wages. So why is it that the government wants to increase the profits of their companies but decrease the wages of Singaporeans? You must remember that the first thing that the government should think about is the rights and the protection of Singaporeans.
That's
because
right.
We are citizens.
Yes! That should be a good government.
We voted the PAP in to protect the Singaporeans, not for them to protect their own salaries and their own profits and their own money. Why are they paying themselves the highest salaries in the world while giving Singaporeans the lowest wages among the high-income countries? Why is it that the cost of living is the highest in Singapore and the prices are the highest in Singapore, but Singaporeans earn the lowest wage in Singapore? Is this right or not?
No!
It's not right.
I guess don't worry.
So by now you know that budget 2013 is not, budget 2014 is not good enough for Singaporeans. They say they want to reduce inequality. They say that they want to be more equal. They say that they want a fairer and more equitable society. That is nonsense. They are not concerned about it. When we calculated how much we're actually paying in tax, personal income tax as compared to indirect tax, Singaporeans are paying twice as much into indirect tax as personal income tax. We are paying 4 times as much into CPF as compared to personal income tax. In the other countries, you only need to pay 1 time more into indirect tax, 1 time more into your social security, which is their version of CPF. So the government tells us your personal income tax is low, but that's not true because we are paying at least 9 times more into indirect tax and CPF. That means we are paying a lot of tax, but we do not know that. And if you look at how much Singaporeans are paying and how much the government is paying, the government only pays 50+% of what we pay into the basic services. But in other countries, the government will pay 90%. So this means that the government in Singapore is renegating on its responsibility and it is not taking care of Singaporeans. So why did we vote them in the first place?
Why the
Vote
stupid
them out.
taxi?
The other thing is, Mr. Leong Tze-Hien has calculated in NUS and NTU, they have a surplus of 450 million. Do you know that with this surplus can allow all our Singaporean university students to have free education in Singapore? Every year we'll get free education. But why is the government more interested in accumulating surpluses? This is not the only thing. We have 1 trillion in our reserves. We have 250 billion in our CPF. We have 60 billion in our CPF, and we have countless surpluses in the town councils and the universities. So why is the government so interested in accumulating surpluses and so interested in accumulating more profits for themselves instead of giving back to the people? If you look at how much Singaporeans spent last year for health, I estimate that it's about 9 billion. Last year, Mr. Leong estimated that there's 28 billion in our surpluses, which the government undeclared. They chose not to declare this amount. If you look at it, we just spent 9 billion on healthcare. We still have 19 billion left in surplus. And we only need to spend 2 more billion for education to ensure that all Singaporeans will get free education. And we'll still have 17 billion in the surplus. So why is the government so stingy by telling us that they are afraid the money will run out? When if they give us free education and free healthcare, there will still be 17 billion in the surplus. A lot of money for the future. So what is the government saving for? They are not saving for the future generation. They are only saving for themselves, for their high salaries. Now this is wrong. What I'm worried about is there are a lot of Singaporeans who chose to still have hope in the PAP. They still believe that one day the PAP will come and save us. PAP will never save us because their number one thinking is I need to make money off you. That's why I need to make sure that you vote for me and I make sure that I can earn from you. Now this is not the right mindset that the government should have and not the right mindset that the PAP should have. They are not interested in our equality. They are not interested in our protection. And we must vote for the opposition to run our country. We must not let the PAP ruin our future. We must not let the PAP run Singapore down. Because at the rate Singapore is going, at the rate PAP is going, Singapore is going downhill, and Singapore will be mismanaged by Lee Hsien Loong, by Taman, by Teo Chee Hean, by all the PAP MPs in government, and we need to get them out. Now 2016 is the last time we have in Singapore. 2016 is the last time. Because if we allow them to go on continuing after the elections, they will create a lot of rules to prevent us from writing, to prevent us from knowing, and to prevent us from doing what's right for ourselves, our children, and their future generation. The PAP will also bring in more people and prevent us from being able to take a stand and speak up for what is ours. So we must make sure that we tell other people to stop being scared. Because what are they scared of? Their future? Under the PAP, they should be scared of their future. At least under the opposition, we still have hope. So what if some people think the opposition are not good enough? The idea is there are only 80 people in government making the decision. Who cares about them? You vote 80 people in and you allow them to still continue to function, but you let the civil society, you let the civil service, the NGOs, the rest of us Singaporeans, the 3 million of us, do they come out and say, good, now that you are in government, the opposition, you will listen to us. Because if PAP is in government, will they listen to us?
No!
That is why we need an opposition in government so that they will listen to us. It doesn't matter how strong they are, because the civil service has 300,000, 400,000 people. They are still running the country. The PAP is not the one making the decisions. The civil service is, and the civil service will make sure the country will still run, because the civil service is made up of all of us. The NGOs will still run, the civil societies will still run, and they are made up of all of us. The companies in Singapore will still run because they are made up of all of us. So we must remember that we are Singaporeans and we are the ones with the power, and the PAP should listen to us. And with that, I'll pass it on to Mr. Leong to share more with us.